there is a group of women that have those baby rabies, etc., they want to get married, they'll go ahead and concede to get married to that guy that is like the safe bet, right? They'll get married to him, have kids with him, he eventually bores her, she divorces him, has the kids that she wants, is able to extract resources from him, and then put herself back out into the sexual marketplace, right, while she still has a little bit of value, and find a higher status guy than you, right? This is fucking real, guys. Girls do this, especially girls that get married, let's say at like 21, 22, etc. Y'all think the game is over? No, it's not, bro. No, it's not, because the average marriage in the United States lasts about 5 to 7 years, okay? That's plenty of time for her to get in, pop out a couple kids, get that part of her life handled, then get the fuck out of the sexual marketplace before 30, get out of the fucking relationship before the age of 30, still have some sexual market value left, and be able to pull a guy that's extremely attractive, that's better than you.
Now, they're going after your right to get a divorce.
Oh, ladies, welcome to the consequences of your own actions. Like y'all say all the time, we're in a patriarchy. That men control everything and we have all the power. Well, if that's true, did you really think we were going to go on letting you make divorce or profit an industry? We gave y'all power. And don't get it twisted, you didn't get it, we gave it to you. But the problem is, that power we gave you, you're abusing it. As of now, women are initiating nearly 80% of the divorces. And the vast majority of them have no cause other than you want to fuck someone else. And that's fine. I think you should have the right to do that. But I also think that if you want a divorce without cause, you shouldn't get a fucking dime. You should not financially benefit for breaking your vows because you were bored. While I wish we could just make it so you get nothing when you leave, the courts would never allow that. So this is the next best thing. And ladies, look, I know you're not used to this thing called accountability, but I am very glad to see you're starting to. Enjoy.
Listen, I think his data is correct. I've been researching it, and women do initiate far more divorces than men. I wonder why that is. I think it might have something to do with the fact that men are really happy to have somebody to clean their house, cook their food, wash their laundry, raise their little sons, and suck their... And we're not leaving because we're bored or we want somebody else. We're leaving because we actually want to enjoy our lives. Ladies, if we just stop breeding with narcissists, this whole genetic pool will die off in a couple thousand years. The future will thank us.
Over the last 5 decades, a significant number of American women have experienced a remarkable degree of freedom and legal protection that often goes unnoticed. This isn't attributed to landmark cases like Roe v. Wade or anti-discrimination laws. Rather, it stems from a less discussed phenomenon known as no-fault divorce. In the early 1970s, this development enabled millions, predominantly women, to file for divorce without the obligation to substantiate severe wrongdoing by their spouse, such as infidelity or abuse. However, there's a notable resistance to no-fault divorce from conservative figures in states like Texas and Louisiana. Even a devout Catholic husband in Nebraska vehemently opposes it. Strikingly, the Texas Republican Party, as evidenced by their 2022 platform, openly advocates for the elimination of no-fault divorce laws, favoring an alternative called covenant marriage. With Republicans in control of key positions in Texas, including the governorship, Secretary of State, Attorney General, and both legislative chambers, there's a real possibility that Texas might enact this change. Viewed as a legal contract, marriage under the no-fault divorce system allows either party to breach the contract without facing consequences. Despite its purported advantages for both partners, the fact that 98% of alimony recipients are women suggests an underlying motivation. Consequently, marriage becomes trivialized and a substantial investment of time. The idea that a spouse can betray vows, engage in infidelity without repercussions, and still claim half of the shared assets renders the institution of marriage seemingly pointless. Theoretically, the elimination of no-fault divorce might be a reasonable proposal, contingent on the court's ability to make fair determinations regarding fault. If the courts struggle with establishing fault or deem certain actions, like infidelity, insufficient to attribute blame for the marriage's breakdown, the concept loses its efficacy. The essence of marriage lies in its binding commitment, where both partners are equally bound, fostering mutual investment. A no-fault divorce system appears to undermine this fundamental goal. Why bother with faithfulness and loyalty in a relationship if your partner can cheat and initiate a divorce, walking away with half of the marital assets at any time? On the contrary, if breaching marital vows results in the loss of income, assets, and custody of children, individuals have a compelling reason to uphold their commitments. Investing in your partner's happiness becomes more secure, knowing that the effort is likely to yield long-term benefits. Reciprocal treatment in a relationship becomes a necessity due to the consequences attached.
This approach not only offers the promise of rewards for being a good spouse, but also introduces the threat of punishment for being the cause of marital breakdown. Advocates for no-fault divorce argue that it prevents people from being stuck in miserable marriages. However, the root cause of marital unhappiness often lies in the absence of incentives to please a partner, as either party can easily initiate a divorce without significant repercussions. By eliminating the distorted incentives created by no-fault divorce, marriages are less likely to deteriorate to the point of dissolution. 3 alternatives typically exist. 1. Endure a miserable marriage. 2. Dissolve it. Or 3. Prevent or repair the unhappiness in the marriage. Creating a system that encourages option 3 over option 2 might be more crucial than pushing for option 2 over option 1. Personally, I believe that instead of abolishing no-fault divorce altogether, it should undergo reform. While acknowledging that divorce is sometimes necessary for the well-being of everyone involved, especially children, I find significant flaws in the current no-fault divorce system that need addressing. I'll discuss some of these issues today. Firstly, children often have no say in their parents' decision to divorce. This aspect personally frustrates me. I've seen a friend go through a situation where his parents were considering divorce when he was 18, and it deeply affected him. He was going through a tough time and needed support, but instead, his parents were too absorbed in their conflicts, neglecting their children's needs. Some kids may handle their parents' divorce well, but others, like my friend, may suffer. This is why I believe that while no-fault divorce shouldn't be abolished entirely, the laws surrounding it need adjustments to prevent parents from using it as an excuse to shirk their responsibilities and abandon their children. Let's dive into some specifics. Firstly, there's the issue of constitutionality. Everyone deserves a fair trial and should not be coerced into agreeing to something against their will. The current process of no-fault divorce involves one spouse petitioning for divorce, obtaining court papers, and then the other spouse often having to sign the divorce papers. This feels like a form of blackmail, where the other spouse has minimal input into the final outcome. Even if one spouse opposes the divorce, judges may still grant it. This is fundamentally flawed and needs reform to create a fairer system for men, women, and children who may not want a divorce or object to it. Secondly, let's consider the issues of corruption and capitalism within the context of divorce proceedings. Family courts are widely known for their notorious corruption, and the divorce system in particular is rife with inequality and profit-driven exploitation. Lawyers profit immensely from handling divorce cases, with the financial gains increasing as the number of divorces rises. This profit motive creates a situation where individuals benefit financially from breaking up families, regardless of the wishes of those within those families, often the children, who may prefer otherwise. This connects back to the problem of children having no say in the matter. To address these concerns, there is a pressing need for increased transparency in the divorce system. Children should have a voice in influencing their parents' decisions, potentially preventing divorces that could cause emotional scars, in addition to combating corruption within the system. While I don't advocate for the abolition of no-fault divorce, significant changes are imperative to ensure that no one, especially children, suffers unnecessarily from divorces that could be avoided. Rather than eliminating no-fault divorce, a more constructive approach involves removing divorce incentives from the process. This includes putting an end to practices like alimony, child support, and community property. By eliminating the financial incentives associated with divorce, individuals are more likely to strive to maintain their marriages, and the occurrence of sham marriages may be significantly reduced. That's it for today on Sigma Traits. Make sure you hit that like button, smash that subscribe button, And don't forget to ring that notification bell so you can be the first to know when my new video drops. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. See you all tomorrow.